there any teams you spent time with this offseason? Any coaches you sort of worked under?
I'm close with the Baltimore Ravens running back coach, Thomas Hammock, but no coach in particular, no team in particular, more so plays. Finding NFL examples of plays that we run and just looking through different scenarios, different things that our guys could end up seeing and just trying to get a lot of experience, mental reps in terms of watching the pros.
What's been the biggest adjustment for you in terms of going with a different position?
That's a tough question. I mean, it's all different, so I don't know if there's a biggest adjustment, but new guys and everything, but they've been great to work with. They're all working really hard, and it's a really, really good group. So nothing stands out as being any bigger adjustment than anything else.
How much do you lean on what you saw out of these guys last year, or did you come in clean slate?
Yeah, none at all. It's a clean slate. I mean, I knew what those guys were because you see them play and everything, but I mean, it's a new season, and there's relatively new offense in terms of a lot of things that we'll do. So it's kind of a fresh start for everybody.
You came in having never coached this position before. Did you play running back at all?
No, I'm sure you could guess that. I felt like I carried the ball a few times growing up. I scored on one, just for what it's worth.
But what did you do to prepare for this? You know, it's now in January. You know, what did you do to cram for this, if you will?
I mean, I don't know about cramming because the way that coaching works is if you're doing it right, you're kind of absorbing everything. So I've worked with quarterbacks before in Baltimore and spent a great deal of time with them. And in that world, you're talking about protections, constantly talking about protections. So you learn that with tight ends, there's route running, there's run game blocking. So there's the run game. So the only thing that's different kind of is just carrying the ball. And luckily we got talented guys that are good at doing that on their own, and then I can help them at least with guidance in terms of, hey, read this, hey, I think the ball should have gone here or there. So it's probably a little bit not as big of an adjustment as it would be made out to be.
Right. Now, was this something you wanted to do, or was this something your dad said, you're going to coach running backs and you don't have a say in this?
Something we talked about, but I was excited for it. He told me I was in I think Houston at like 11 or 11:30 at night, and he called me and we talked about it, and I hung up excited, and I just laid in bed awake thinking about running backs, so I was excited about it.
Between Oregon State and the Ravens, you did a lot of different jobs, right? I mean, and does that prepare you to switch positions a little bit? Is there some value?
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm getting at before. Maybe I didn't say it well, but just there's a totality in coaching, whether it's offense or defense, is seeing the big picture. And I think being with tight ends, it's kind of a hybrid position, so that helps. Being in a quarterback room in the NFL for 3 years is really helpful because you learn the big picture. So certainly being in a few different spots is really, really helpful, and I think most other coaches that are older in their careers, everyone's done it at some point. So I think most coaches could speak to that with similar experience.
Would you like to find a lead guy, or is it just everybody mixing in? You using a lot of backs?
Yeah, the guys are going to be put in position to do the things that they're good at. So it might be a certain run for a certain guy, certain type of scheme for another guy. But obviously, any coach would like a guy to emerge that you can trust. But in reality, I mean, I'd like everyone to emerge and I'd like to be thinking, hey, I want this guy to be in, but man, I'd really like to be playing these guys too. So you'd like to be able to trust your whole group. I've never liked the way thinking about running backs like that, like you're assuming that 2 or 3 guys aren't going to be good enough. I want everyone to be good. I think it's pretty simple, but for some reason that's never talked about.
Devion was kind of acknowledged as the best blocker of the bunch last year. Do you have a guy, 2 guys that are standing out in that area?
They're all doing a much better job. Ty Isaac has improved quite a bit. He's been excellent so far. Both fullbacks have been tremendous, Khalid and Poggi, and then some of the other guys are coming along too. So I think we need some more live reps. The spring game will tell a lot in terms of just live bullets flying and seeing how people react. But those guys are standing out.
How has Kareem Walker been doing?
Doing really well. He's doing a great job. He's coming along slowly but steadily and getting better and better at everything we asked him to do, and he's going to be able to contribute for us, most definitely.
Grant said you guys post a depth chart pretty regularly and you keep updating it and stuff like that. Is that just a motivational play, or is it something that you think that these things change and are pretty fluid practice to practice?
Yeah, it's certainly fluid. Things change, and it's a meritocracy around here, so it just makes sense for everyone to understand and have it be out in the open of, hey, this guy's doing the best. and then this guy's doing the second best, and so on and so forth. So in terms of it being a motivational ploy, I think if you were lower down there, yeah, you could take it that way. And if you're high up on it, and maybe it's motivational the same way, you want to get your edge and try to keep it and make sure you're getting playing time.
You updated every practice? I mean, the spring here? Or no?
Not quite. I think maybe every few. I'm not certain that there's any particular pattern to it, but if things change, things change. We certainly reward good performance and guys who make plays and do what they're asked to do.
What do you hope to see Saturday, and do you get anything more out of that than a normal practice?
Oh yeah, no doubt, especially with the running backs, because O-line and D-line and to large extent receivers and DBs is, even when it's not live in practice, it is live. The speed is nearly game speed minus the tackling. So running back is the one position, and quarterback where live tempo and getting tackled really reveals something. Because you get to see in practice, if you're just tagging off or what we call thud tempo, you don't necessarily know what would have happened. So in a spring game, it's definitely exciting to see who can create yards after contact and all that.
We're hearing it's a different offense this year. Are there things specific to the running backs that are really being emphasized that you have to be able to do this well?
Nothing different in that regard in terms of what's being asked of them now.
What is different about the offense? How is it evolving? I mean, don't give me the playbook, but like, is it morphing in a particular way based on what you've learned in the past couple of years, or based on new coaches?
I mean, certainly with the new coaches, things change because there's terminology that's more familiar to them and things that they like to do. There's things I think we've improved on that we did in the past, different ways of teaching certain concepts to try to help the guys learn better and operate under stress better. But in terms of specifics, I probably can't go into that.
Fair enough.